Welcome to LA Social Science. My name is Otis Noble III. I am the Community Engagement Assistant Director for the Division of Social Sciences here at UCLA. And today I have the pleasure of speaking to Dr. Shannon Speed. Dr. Shannon Speed is a citizen of the Chickasaw Nation, and she also is the director of the UCLA American Indian Study Center. Dr. Speed, thank you for hanging out with us today.
Thank you for speaking with me, Otis.
So, you have been involved with some really amazing research, and it's titled the Hate Crime Map. Can you tell us more about it?
We are really excited about the launch of the Hate Crime Map. This is a map that was created by three activists following the 2016 presidential election, when, as you know, we saw a surge in hate crimes in the country that has been fairly sustained throughout the last 4 years. And they created it with the explicit intent of eventually transferring it to a university to kind of shepherd it forward and maintain it. And we brought it to UCLA through the Institute of American Cultures in 2017. But there was a lot of work that needed to be done to transition it to kind of a UCLA based system. So we've been working on it the last couple of years, also working to make the data more accessible to researchers than it was in the original map. And so we've been working with the Social Sciences Division and Social Science Computing, and we've worked with a GIS mapping expert, Albert Kochapum, who has done a lot of work creating the visualizations.
Are there any other partners outside of social sciences that you've been working with?
So it's housed in the American Indian Studies Center, but the Institute of American Cultures is the overarching umbrella, and they have provided funding, as has the Social Sciences Division for the project. We also had a student through Social Sciences Computing who did a great deal of work for us over the last year.
And I have to tell you, it's phenomenal. I also, had a question because I know some of these crimes, to identify them as hate crimes, are very hard to really kind of, classify it as such. Can you talk about a little bit of that?
I mean, one of the reasons I think this map in particular is so important is that hate crimes are very, very hard to do research on. Data is notoriously absent, particularly for American Indians, but really for all of our communities. And there are several reasons for that. One reason is that people from our communities are less likely to want to approach law enforcement if they've been a victim of a hate crime and have to talk to law enforcement about it. This map allows people to go on and self-report without ever having to interact with officials of any kind. So it's a crowdsourced platform where victims can report incidents. Once people interact with law enforcement, often law enforcement are very reluctant to qualify things as hate crimes, even when they are. And then frequently people are misidentified in terms of their community categories, their racial ethnic categories. So we lose a lot of folks. A lot of people become invisibilized in that process. And so this map allows people to self-report in a way that makes clear how they would like to be identified.
Wow, thank you for that research. I mean, to have that option to self-identify for folks that come from communities such as ours, I think is going to be a game changer. Can you talk about any more of the impactfulness of this opportunity that, really you all as the researchers behind it really kind of looked forward to as it relates to getting this out?
Sure, I really hope that this will be a useful tool for researchers as well as for journalists and others who want to write about hate crimes. We're in a moment of real social conflict around issues of race in this country, and hate crimes in that context are really important for us to kind of have a handle on what's happening. We can also anticipate that the upcoming election might increase those social tensions and thus potentially increase hate crimes. So we hope that it will be a tool that researchers and journalists can use to access information and data that they wouldn't otherwise have access to through official statistics. The map itself is one that people can use to look at information about the particular crimes that happened, specific crimes, so they can see what was reported and what happened. But they also get, visualizations based on the basis for the attack, race, gender, religion, et cetera. We also have a special map with data that came from stopping hate crimes against Asian American and Pacific Islanders through the Asian American and Pacific Islander Hate Crime Reporting Center. That is a separate map set specifically on COVID-related crimes. And so obviously in the pandemic moment, those have surged, and it's a great source of data, again, for journalists and academics on that type of hate crime.
Definitely. And, unfortunately, with the rhetoric that's coming out of this current administration, I'm sure what you all are producing is going to really kind of help. Hopefully, journalists put out stories to help us be better, informed about how some of this rhetoric can be harmful. You talked about one area in which you all are receiving your information. Are there other sources of where your information is coming from that you'd like to talk about?
So the data, the open source data in our hate crimes map is complemented by a large data set that we received from ProPublica in a 3-year study of hate crimes in America, as well as the data from the Stop Asian American and Pacific Islander Hate Crimes Reporting Center.
Well, Dr. Speed, any last words from you? Any others things that you want to tell us about?
I encourage people to check out the map at www.hatecrimemap.com. And I hope that people will really be impacted by seeing how prevalent hate crime is in America today. It's not something we think a lot about or hear a lot about, and so it's easy for us to believe that this isn't really happening, or that when it happens, that it's an exceptional event, when in fact it's really quite a common experience for our communities. And so I hope that that's the overarching impact of the map, is to make that clear to anyone who takes a look at it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Speed, for your time. And thank you also for the research you're putting forth. I think it's going to really kind of save lives and hopefully save us as Americans. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Otis.